Hello, Eagles. You are flipping in fifth with me, Mrs. G. Today we're going to be talking about Topic 13, Lesson 3, and today's learning target is, I can convert from one unit of customary unit of weight to another. Go ahead and pause the video and write that down. So here is something I'd like you to write under your vocabulary. Again, we're trying to give you these conversion charts to help you to do your problems, but eventually this is going to be stuff you just need to memorize. So here for customary units of weight, we know that 1 pound equals 16 ounces and 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. Go ahead and pause the video and write that in. Okay, here's Mr. Whalen now to take off with today's lesson.
All right, this is lesson 13.3, converting customary units of weight. So we always have to start with what our units are. 1 ton is pretty stinking heavy. It's heavy. It's 2,000 pounds. That's quite a bit. A full-size elephant's roughly 5 tons. So that's a pretty big animal. So a ton is 2,000 pounds. 1 pound is actually 16 ounces. 16 ounces is not like the ounces you learned in capacity, because that is liquid form. Fluid ounces is what we worked with yesterday. Now we're looking at weight ounces, which is it's a unit of weight. All right, so conversion, back to this same strategy, same approach. If you start with a smaller unit and you end with a larger, you want to divide. When you go from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you multiply. This would always be a good thing to write down. Let's start with an example. If I had 6,000 pounds and I wanted to change it into tons. So I'm going from a smaller unit to a larger unit. What do? Yeah, we divide. So what do I divide by? You have to ask yourself, well, how many pounds are in a ton, or how many tons are in a pound? How many pounds are in a ton? There are 2,000 pounds in a ton. So we already said divide. So I take 6,000 and I divide it by 2,000. And if you remember our division, when we divide, we get to cancel out zeros, right? 3 zeros canceled here, 3 zeros canceled here. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that means 6,000 pounds is 3 tons. Or 3 tons. Got to get my subject-verb agreement correct. Okay, what if we have 1/4 of a pound? How many ounces is that going to be? Now this one's a little trickier because you have part of a whole. Well, we got to look at pounds and see how many ounces are in there. We have 16 ounces for every pound. So if I'm taking part of a whole, we have to multiply. So if we have 1/4 of 16 ounces of a pound, 1/4 of 16, remember this is multiplication. Always put your whole numbers over 1. No need to do any flipping because it's only multiplication. And then you multiply straight across. 1 times 16 is 16. 4 times 1 is 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So 1/4 of a pound is 4 ounces. Okay, let's try another one. 33 ounces. This is a comparing problem. So I'm going to put that right there, and we're going to place an inequality in there. 2 pounds. We can convert either one of these to pounds, ounces to pounds, or pounds to ounces. It doesn't matter. You can do either one. I like to multiply, so I'm going to change my pounds to ounces rather than divide. Okay? So if I have a larger unit and I want to change it to a smaller unit, I multiply. So I need to ask myself, how many ounces are in 1 pound? There are 16 ounces in 1 pound. So I'm going to take 16 times 2, and that's going to give me 32. So now I'm really comparing 32 ounces to 33 ounces. So we forget about that. We've already converted it to ounces. 32 ounces is 2 pounds. Which is bigger? There it is. There's the inequality, the greater than sign. Let's try one more of those. If we had 4 pounds, oops, and we're going to compare it to 64 ounces. Well, it's the same thing. We can convert 4 pounds to ounces or ounces to pounds. Since I did multiplication last time, I'll go ahead and do division, even though I don't really want to. I know it has to be done. So I ask myself, how many ounces are in 1 pound? 16. So if I'm going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, I want to divide. So if I take 64 divided by 16, well, 20 times 6, well, 20 times 4 is 80. 20 times 16 times 2 is 32. What if I tried 16 times 4? Because I know 16 times 2 is 32. I want to double that to get to 64. So let's try off to the side. 16 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2, 4, 5, 6. 64. Awesome. So that means there are 4 pounds. So we're done with this number. We just converted ounces to 4 pounds. We're comparing 4 pounds to 4 pounds. There's our inequality.
Okay, now it's your turn to try. Here are tonight's practice problems. Go ahead and pause the video and then come back when you're ready for the answers. Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here are tonight's practice problem answers. Number 1, the answer is 2,000 pounds equals 1 ton. Number 2, 48 ounces equals 3 pounds. Number 3, 16,000 pounds equals 8 tons. Number 4, 64 ounces equals 4 pounds. And number 5, 5 tons equals 10,000 pounds. Go ahead and check your work and write down how many you got correct out of 5. Remember, be honest, it's not for a grade, but we do want you to fill out that self-reflection. Let us know, could you teach a friend? Do you think you got it? Do you still have absolutely no idea? And remember to fill in the space for any questions you still have. Hope you enjoyed today's lesson with me and Mr. Whalen, and we'll be back for another one tomorrow. Have a good night.